this morning. Good morning. Welcome to this guided meditation. Today, we will be focusing on mindfulness. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to this guided meditation. Today, we're focusing on mindfulness. The power of the mind. How powerful is your mind? How clear is your mind? How well do you know the things that go on in your mind? How friendly are you with your mind? How in control are you of your mind? Are you the master of your mind, or is the mind the master of ye? Are you the same thing as your mind, or are you the observer of your mind? Do you mind if we talk about it? Good morning everybody. Good morning Kuselo, good morning. Welcome to this guided meditation on mindfulness. If you're new here, we do this every day at 6 o'clock in the morning. You can join our WhatsApp group to get notifications every day and to get things that go along with self-awareness, including this meditation. If you're new here, good morning Aurora. Namaste Nolda. I am very well today. How are you guys doing? Including the people who are new, how are you guys doing as well? How are you feeling? Kusela says, with my mind, it's been a losing battle, constant anxiety, it's horrific. What are you afraid of, Kusela? Morning, Gangeliza, good morning. Nice to see the VIPs here. Good morning, mischievous me. I've seen you before. Welcome back. Idumo Kele says, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Idumo. Good morning. Kuselo, what are you afraid of? What is causing your anxiety? What is the source of your anxiety? When did it start? What started it? Because we cannot be owned. Good morning, my Zuzu. We cannot be owned by our anxieties, by our minds. If our minds take over us, then there'll be nothing that's ever done. Why? Because our minds continuously run on old programming. So, if our minds are our masters, or if our minds dictate how we live, then we'll keep living the same life, because your mind is like, okay, this is predictable, this is safe, so let me continue doing this, let me continue this pattern. And you'll never change, you'll never grow. So, what is the source of your anxiety? What are you afraid of? And let your mind know that it's okay to grow out of your anxiety. It's time to change. Because you're getting older. As things happen, you grow older. Kusara says that I'm not going to achieve anything that was embedded in my head and heart when I was a kid. Well, there we go. Is that true? Is it true if we were to say that you have achieved things before, and therefore thinking that you won't achieve anything is not logical? And also, ask yourself this question. I heard about anti-shadow work questions. Anti-shadow questions. So instead of asking yourself, will I be successful? Ask yourself, why will I not be successful? So ask yourself, why am I not going to achieve anything? And ignore the first conscious thought that says, I will achieve it, I'm good, I can do this. Ignore that. That's your mind that's your consciousness rather, trying to be like, no, what are you saying? What do you mean you're not going to achieve it? You can achieve anything you set your mind to. It's true, but that's not the point right now. Ask yourself, why am I not going to achieve anything I want and everything I want? And then, the answer that you get from that, from deep inside, whether it says, I'm too lazy, I am not loved, I am this, I am that, bring it up and then write it down. That'll be step one in figuring out the source of why you believe that you will not achieve anything, and then you can start working on it from there. So be sure to ask yourself that, and let me know how it works as well. you guys are new here, if you're new here and you have not joined the WhatsApp group, please do join the WhatsApp group where I send links to this every morning so that you're never late and that you're always aware when we're meditating. We meditate every day, but sometimes things happen in life, load shedding, whatever the case is that might happen. So I'll let you guys know on time if we're not having a meditation. If I don't speak on the group in the mornings, then likely we're not having a meditation. Maybe we're load shedding, I don't have Wi-Fi. But every morning I'll let you guys know, meditating today. Luna R, my king, get a mic next name. Okay, but we're here showing up. Thank you for that. I will definitely get a mic at some point, but let me speak louder. Can you hear me better when I increase my voice? Luna R. And maybe bring the phone closer to me. Am I more audible in this way? Do I seem like a lunatic when I speak this loud? I don't care. Guys, I'm learning something. Something that I've always been playing around with in my mind that has to do with Einstein's theory of relativity and how we can use that in our daily lives. So, one of the things that I haven't worked on time yet. Then write it down, then work on that list again. It just feels impossible. What do you mean, Kusela? Just explain yourself quickly in different words so we can talk about that. But let me just quickly, this is going to be my rant today, and I'm going to have to speak really fast because I can go on for a while with this one. So I want us to start on time. By the way, get into a comfortable position, be seated, and just focus on the rhythm of your breath while I go on my usual rants in the morning. So Einstein's theory of relativity, particularly the one that speaks about gravity and how gravity is not actually a force, but rather it is the effect of matter changing and warping space-time around it. And therefore, the space-time causes things around that mass, or that mass, or that body mass, whatever you call it, to fall into... Okay, let me explain it like this. It's very hard to explain when you're not really into the lingo. Imagine you were on a trampoline, right? You're on a trampoline, you have that flat surface that is a trampoline surface. Now let's imagine that being space-time. Space-time is everything that is everything, or rather everything, the things that everything is on, like the earth, the sun, it's in space-time, right? That's that trampoline thing. Now imagine you are the earth, or a body of mass in space, and you stand on the trampoline. What it's going to do is it's going to go lower, right? The trampoline is going to sink a little bit where you're standing, particularly because you're a heavy mass object. Now, if you were to put a marble, which is much smaller than you, near where that hole or that dip that you create when you stand is, that marble will go right next to you, or like fall into the hole. Does that make sense? Like to your feet. That is what gravity is. It's not really a force, but rather because of that dip in space-time, smaller objects of matter or mass fall into the dip that a larger object of mass is causing. Does that make sense? Quick pause. Kusala says, I want to have a stable career. Thing is, I don't know anyone who's an engineer. Why can't I be the first? Kusala, there's so many engineers in the world. Stop making excuses for yourself. Go out and find an engineer to tutor you, or find an engineer to shadow, or find an engineer to be around, or Google engineers, YouTube engineers. There's options for you. Stop creating excuses. If you see a problem, don't say, this is the problem that I cannot solve, or this is what's stopping me. And even if you do say this is what's stopping me, it means that you need to remove that. So whenever you find something that's in your way, have the mentality of removing it out of your way. So what would be step one in finding an engineer that is around you or that you can have access to, even in the smallest of ways? YouTube is your friend. So anyway, theory of relativity. Does it make sense? You're standing on a trampoline, you put a marble, the marble falls into it. That is what Einstein says gravity is. Not necessarily a force, just falling into the space that you create as a large body of mass, or at least larger than the relative mass bodies around you. I hope this makes sense because it's very important for what I'm about to say next. So if it makes sense, say yes. This is how the Earth is. So you are the Earth on the trampoline. That's why the moon orbits around us. That's why some satellites fall into the Earth's gravitational sphere. Now, how this works for manifestations and just generally being a high energy person, a person that has a pull to the things that they need, because that's really all manifestation is, right? Like feeling a certain thing and then being able to pull the resources or pull that experience into your life, to you, to attract something. Is it making sense? So, how it works for attraction and the law of attraction and manifestation is. So Einstein says mass and energy is the same thing. It can be interchangeable. He says E equals mc squared, which means energy is equal to mass multiplied by the speed of light squared. The speed of light is a constant, it doesn't change. I'm still going to look into that and understand what exactly the speed of light is esoterically. But mass is basically, I was Googling it today and figuring out what mass means. Mass means matter, or rather, the amount of matter in a particular body is its mass. What is matter? Matter is apparently the particles in a space that have inertia. Inertia is, let me just Google what inertia is so I can give you the proper. If you did physics, then you'll know what inertia is. And if you did physics and you know more than what I'm saying, then please let me know that I'm talking shit. Kusala says, I'm within ESCOM, so if I stop responding, it's my network. Okay, that's fine, Kusala, that's fine. I hope it doesn't mess up your connection. So, inertia, it says, it's a property of matter by which it continues in its existing state of rest or uniform motion in a straight line unless the state is changed by external force. So inertia is basically your current motion, whether you're still or whether you're moving. So particles are molecules that have a particular type of inertia. So the molecules that you are and have the motion that you have, whether you're still or whether you're moving, those create the matter, which is you, which creates the mass, which is you. So that creates your energy when you multiply it by this constant of time squared. And then your energy affects, top of the morning, Makanani, hello. Your energy then affects the amount of dip that you have in space-time, right? And the amount of dip that you have in space-time will affect the amount of things that get pulled into your world. So the heavier you are as a being, then the more things that you'll naturally pull in, the more people will naturally be pulled towards you. This is why I think large people generally, like someone who's really tall and really big, generally has a lot of friends. Or it can go the opposite way if they're a weirdo. Because now they're like expelling these people. I'm still going to get into why mass objects expel other objects. But this is why, like, if you're generally talking like a sociable person and you're big, like basic social ability, but you're big and you're tall, you're likely going to be a very popular person, particularly in high school and in general life. Think of people like The Rock. Think of how tall a lot of celebrities are. Think of like basketball players, how much pull they have. So naturally, if you're a big person with a big personality, then you will have a larger dip in space-time. So more people will be attracted to you. This is why we say people have big personalities and they attract people, because that energy that they have is causing a dip in space-time, which causes people to be pulled towards them. Now, the question that I had was, how do you change this then? How do you increase the dip that you have? And it goes logically to say that to increase your energy or to increase your dip, you have to either increase your mass or you have to increase your energy. Now, I want to work on energy, which you still have to then increase your mass. But what is it to increase mass? If mass is particles in a particular space that move at a particular inertia, it means if you can increase the amount of particles that are within you and increase the amount of inertia that you have, as in your motion, then you can increase the matter that is in you, which means you can increase the mass that you have, which means you increase the energy that you have, which means then you increase the dip. Kusala says, not popularity noticeable, yes. Pull to notice them. Okay, yes, let's go with that. Pull to notice them. And then depending on the type of person that they are, then they become popular if they're someone that you want to spend time with. Because we also have consciousness. We are also mass bodies, so we can move us. I don't know about other planets if they have consciousness. Could be. Who knows? But yes, they're noticeable. So they pull attention. And how many times have I said attention is the currency of this world that we live in? If you've got the eyes of people, then you can do a lot with that. So they pull your attention. We'll go with that. Now, how do you increase the particles in your system, and how do you increase your speed? Now, I don't know about particles particularly. I'll figure that out and I'll come back and tell you guys. But how you increase your speed, you have to figure out what speed is. And speed is basically, let's look at it in wave form. Speed is basically how many times a wave passes by in a certain amount of time. So if in 1 second, 2 waves from crest to crest pass, then that is your speed. You can do the equations. We don't have to do the equations now. But if you want to increase your speed, then that means there must be 3 waves that pass in the same amount of time. Or 4 waves that pass in the same amount of time, same period. Now, what is a wave when it comes to actually doing things in life? And this is all literally going to boil down to things that we already know, but just explained with the scientific rhetoric or logic that I'm following. I figured out at some point that what increases the waves that pass in a particular time, or rather what it means to go from a wave to another wave, is to go from one decision to the next decision. So one state of being to the next state of being caused by a decision made, an action taken. That'll be a wave, right? So in order to increase the waves that pass by in a particular time period, which increases your speed, you have to increase the decisions and the actions that you take, or rather increase the speed at which you take decisions and actions. So if in a particular time you usually take one decision, you now have to take 2 or 3 decisions in that same particular space of time, and that will increase your waves in that period, or increase your speed. This is now where procrastination becomes a problem, and this is also where you get the idea that the faster you can move thought into action, then the more powerful you are as a being. And I think I told somebody, I think I said it on the group, if you can move thought into action at a particular speed, then you get closer to being more and more powerful because you start vibrating higher. What is a vibration? A vibration is the level or the pace at which, and the length as well, but we'll speak with pace, the pace at which something oscillates. Oscillation is basically the wave movement. That's a vibration or frequency. So to increase your frequency, you must increase the decisions and the actions that you take within a particular period of time. So basically, take decisions faster, act faster, which is why people say, we have the same 24 hours, but Beyonce's 24 hours is longer than ours. Why? Because her team and herself make more decisions in this 24 hours than we make. Does that make sense? So if we were to make, let's say, 5 decisions in 24 hours, as an example, it goes to show that Beyonce makes 25 decisions in the same 24 hours. Hence, it seems like she has more than just 24 hours, which is then probably goes into then Einstein's theory of relativity when it comes to time, but we won't deal with that right now. So, it means Beyonce's speed is faster because she takes more actions, takes more decisions in the same amount of time. Therefore, her inertia is faster than ours. Therefore, her mass is larger than ours. Therefore, her energy is larger than ours. Therefore, the dip that she causes in space-time is deeper than the one that we'll create, and therefore she has more pull, aka more attention, more eyes on her. Whether it's haters or whether it's people who love her, for Xalayo, you're going to pay attention to her because the dip that she causes in space-time is very much deep. Why? Simply because she takes actions quicker, or she takes more actions in the same amount of time that we would take actions in. Now we're also going to go into, not now though, but we'd also go into the type of actions that she takes priority, which is probably then the size of the wave itself. But yeah, that's what I was learning just this morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning for some reason. So basically, if you want more attention in your life, or you want to increase your pull, not necessarily because you want to be famous like Beyonce, but simply because you want to be an influential person in your space, then increase the rate at which you take action. The reason people procrastinate most of the time, or some of the reasons, is because people don't want to make mistakes, or people don't believe in their ability to actually do the right things. But that's a different conversation. We'll talk about mistakes right now, because mistakes and failure is going to be an inevitable thing the faster that you move. So one of my online mentors, Alex Hormozy, says when he's doing something new, he wants to suck as fast as possible. This is just generally changing the mindset that we have when it comes to doing new things and doing them fast. He says the first 20 hours of something is the best time to learn, and you learn most of the things in something new in the first 20 hours. It's just that people take years to get through the first 20 hours of something, and henceforth they're slower. So if you take years to get through the first 20 hours, the decisions that you're making are, the space and time is years. But if you shorten that to a week and you get through the first 20 hours of something new in a week, then you're moving so much faster. And you're gonna fail and make mistakes. So that's why he says his goal initially when he's getting into something is to suck as much as possible, to get through the suck. Like he wants to suck like in the first couple of hours, in the first 20 hours he wants to suck as much as possible. Why? So that he can make as many mistakes as possible, so that he can learn as quickly as possible. That requires you then to make as many decisions as possible in a short amount of time. This is for you if you're trying to do something new that you don't know about. Like do things fast and make mistakes and record those mistakes so that you don't repeat them, because then you're just stagnant and stuck. But yes, the point of the matter is, if you want to have the same 24 hours as Beyonce, make more mistakes faster and learn from your mistakes faster. That's the whole thought process. Beyonce time at the other end is fast mistakes and fast lessons. Obviously, you followed it through the process, but basically yes. And you might say, what was the whole point of taking us through all of that if we're just gonna get to the usual conversation of take action now, don't make mistakes. Failure is not that boring stuff. Well, it's not really boring. It's really the truth. The reason I wanted to take us through that process is to show you that science is agreeing with motivational talk, some of it, and esoteric principles. Science says the same thing, but with more numbers and more calculations. And science usually takes time to catch up to the things that we know intuitively. But it will say the same thing in more complicated words, because it wants to get to the finer detail, the nitty-gritties, and the bigger things in life, sure. But yinto efanayo is the same thing. And that's important because everything is everything. Everything is one. God is the same. And the principles will always be the same at the fundamental basics of existence. So if you're looking for answers, look into yourself. Anyway, I hope all of that makes sense. I hope that was valuable. I hope that didn't feel like a waste of your time this morning. It was just something I found really, really interesting and that I've been working on for a while. I'm also going to engage in how time then works and how to warp time, because think about it, if you can warp space-time, that means the time for you is going slower than other people. That in itself is just a huge thing, because you'll get ahead of so many people in life that don't move as fast. But even if your point is not to get ahead, you'll get so much more done in such a shorter period of time. So then that's good, because then you won't... Remember when I was speaking yesterday, I said patience is also needed for manifestations and reaching your visions and destiny. It will shorten the time that it takes for you to get from one point to the next point. So it will shorten the time for you to get to from where you are to your dreams. And if that's not important to you, then I don't know. Anyway, let's get into this meditation. Breathe in and breathe out. Find the pace of your breath. So unfortunately, I just gave you a lot to think about if you're going to think about it. So it might be a little harder for you to engage in a mindfulness meditation. But that's a good thing. The more thoughts you have, then the more ability that you have to, or the more opportunity you have to just let them pass by. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. Alright, we're going to close our eyes on the next breath in 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Hold it and close your eyes. Hold it and breathe out. Find the rhythm of your breath. In, out, in, out, in, out. Find a rhythm and get into your sacred space, your quiet place. By the way, if you're not on the WhatsApp group after this meditation, please join the WhatsApp group via my link in my bio. Find the rhythm of your breath. We know that rhythm is very, very important. So pace yourself. And we're going to do a quick breathing exercise, simply to slow down your mind as much as possible right now. How it's going to work is we're going to breathe in, we're going to hold our breath, we're going to breathe out, I will call it, and then I'm going to count us down from 10 to 1. And with each number going down, I want you to relax more and more on purpose. With each number, I want you to imagine that you're sinking deeper and deeper into your body. Alright, let's breathe in 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Hold it at the top. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. And breathe out very slowly. Breathe in one more time. Hold it at the top. It's not one more time, by the way. Hold it at the top. Hold it. Hold it. Breathe out very slowly. Now I shall begin counting. Breathe normally. With each number going down, you are sinking deeper into calmness, into ease, into serenity, into Zen. 10, 9, release into your stomach, by the way. Hold it, and breathe out all the oxygen very slowly. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, deeper you go, 4, 3, the more relaxed you're becoming, 2, 1, take a deep breath in into your stomach and hold it and relax your body, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, and breathe out very slowly. 10, you're becoming more relaxed. 9, everything is melting away. 8, all the tension is disappearing. 7, 6, you're letting go of your body. 5, 4, relax. 3, relax. 2, 1. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Now we're going to sit in silence for a while. What I want you to do is when thoughts come, just let them flow out. Find a phrase or a word that allows you to let that thought just flow right through from your mind. Imagine that the thoughts were cars on a highway just driving by. Non-attachment. They don't belong to you. They're just passing by. We shall begin in 3, 2, 1. Don't forget to breathe deeply. Breathe deeply. Let it flow. Let your thoughts flow. On to the next one. thoughts flow right on by, like traffic on a highway that you're watching. Let it flow right on by, just like traffic on a highway that you're watching. On to the next one. Don't forget to breathe deeply. Let it flow right on by. Let the thoughts flow right on by, like traffic on a highway that you're watching. traffic that you're watching. Don't forget to breathe deeply. Let it flow right on by. Let it go. Like traffic on a highway that you're watching. Alright. Now, I want you to bring back your awareness to this moment. I'm going to show some gratitude for the moment, or for your life in general. Place your hand on your heart. If you've been here before, you know the drill. Hand on your heart. And think of a moment, either right now, the present moment, or a moment that you've gone through before in your past that you feel very, very grateful for. Or maybe even a moment that you're anticipating and feeling for the future that you feel very, very grateful for. Feel that gratitude viscerally in your chest. Remember the feeling of that moment. Step into it. Where were you? What was going on? Who was around you? Why were you so grateful? How did it feel? And feel that moment right now. Feel that moment right now in your chest and any other place that it comes up in your body. Feel it. And we're going to say thank you 7 times. First we'll breathe in and breathe out, and then we'll say thank you 7 times in 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Keep the moment in your mind and breathe out. And say thank you. Thank you. Allow the feeling to move from your hand to your elbow, to your shoulder, back into your heart, back into your hand. Let that be a circuit and say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And last one. Thank you. Just sit in that moment and that feeling for a moment. All right. I'm gonna breathe in 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Hold it. And breathe out, and you can release your hand. And let that moment, that feeling dissipate into the world, into the universe, back to God, back to life. And we're going to breathe in one more time, and then when we're ready, we'll open our eyes in 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Hold it. Hold it. And just for good measure, say thank you one more time for this moment while you breathe out. Thank you. And open your eyes when you're ready. Welcome back to the physical world. Welcome back to this reality. How do you feel right now? And where do you feel it in your body? Do you feel calmer? Does your body feel warm in any way? Were you able to just let your thoughts flow through your mind without getting sucked into too many thought processes? Let me know in the comments. Let's engage for the next 10 minutes. Let me know how you felt. My chest feels warm. And there were some thoughts that took over as I was meditating. But of course I had to remind myself to just let them flow, to let them go. Nangelizwe says he feels amazing, came into awareness just before he brought us back. Started liking the live with my your left hand, I assume. That's good. That's good. You're getting better at meditating simply because of practice. We're all getting better simply because of practice. Left hand on my chest, and he said we should do that. One thing about Ngangelizwe, he is an oracle. He can tell the future. This is not the first time you preempt what I'm going to say before I say it. And we need people like you in our lives, Ngangelizwe, that can tell us just before something happens, Paso, something about to happen. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited for you to dive deeper into your clairvoyant powers, and for you to be a constant in my life, so that I'm like, Ngangelizwe, listen, what's gonna happen next? And I assume that how they work is the more aware you are of your powers and the more connected you are of your powers, then the clearer the messages come, and the longer the time frame that you can predict. But of course, some people predict like years into the future. But this is gonna happen. We don't know when, and then like 6 months or 1 year later, you're like, "That's what you said 6 months ago." When I used to read tarot cards, I would be able to do that for people. come back and they'd be like, what you said was true. And I'm like, I know, honey, I know. Kusela says they're feeling better, tension, headache subsiding. Now I see why I have little anxiety. I'm living in my head. All right, make sure you write that down, Kusela, so you can remember it. Living in your head is relatively easy to solve on a microcosmic level. If you're too much in your head, then get into your body. If you're having anxiety and your mental strength is not enough yet to automatically, or rather to consciously stop that anxiety all in your head, then just get into your body. How do you get into your body? Like, do something with your body that requires focus and tension to be put into your body. So you can even clap just really loud. You seem like a crazy person, obviously, so maybe not clapping. Breathing also gets you into your body. Focus on breathing into your gut, into your belly. Dancing, exercising, jumping, or even just tensing yourself up. This is like if you're in public and you don't want anyone to see that you're feeling anxiety and you're changing your consciousness into your body. Just tense your body up, hold your breath. You know how when kids cry or they're throwing temper tantrums, they hold their breath and they tighten up everything. So yeah, now we just do that when you have anxiety. Just tighten up all your muscles. Just tighten everything as if you're trying to take a shit. What that's going to do is it's going to change your state automatically. Because once you tighten, if you can do it now, you'll feel the difference. Just tighten up your body completely and hold your breath. Just tighten up your core, tighten up your muscles, tighten up your shoulders, just tighten everything up. And then let it go. And then you feel... but you can leave, of course, Kusela. You're free to go anywhere you want. I'm in the theta mode and I can't get out of it. Nolda, don't get out of it. Stay in it. In this state, you make the best decisions. This is where you want to behave, or this is where you want your body and your mind to be on a day-to-day basis throughout the day. Because your mind is slower, so you make better decisions faster. Because they will, like when you get stimulated by things, you're able to sort them out and prioritize. You're like, okay, this is this, so that is that. Instead of frantically taking everything all at once and trying to figure out, you're like, okay, decision here, boom, okay, cool, decision here. This is how productivity works. This is one of the things that my online mentor told me, is that to be productive or to be disciplined, or to be productive really, is not to do everything fast, but it's to do the important things first, as in to prioritize what is most important, to prioritize what moves you forward best, and to do those things first and the best. Now, in order to do that, you have to have a clear mind and to know what's important the most to the thing that you want to achieve, or the result that you want to see. And you have to have the mental fortitude to actually take action on it immediately and follow through. So when you're in theta mode, things move slower for you, so you're able to see better, and you're able to make decisions on priorities and in a calm state. How else do you guys feel? Let me know in these last 4 minutes that we have. Let me know. How do you feel? And if you've been here for a long time, are you seeing a difference? Are you seeing a change? And where are you seeing that change? Are you seeing a change in the area that you wanted to see a change in? Or is there a surprise area that you're seeing a change in, positively or even negatively? What is changing in your life from meditating every single day? And how is it changing? And do you like that change? What are the negative sides of meditation in your opinion? Let me know. That's an interesting question. What do you think is a negative side effect of meditation? Let me know. Let me know. What do you think is a negative side effect of meditation? See if I can think of anything. Besides that, you'll like realize who's for you and who's not, and therefore be forced to cut people and things out of your life if you care enough about yourself. Besides that, for now I can't think of anything. It forces you to see yourself, and henceforth forces you to make a decision whether you're going to change or not in the way that you need to, and henceforth forces you to dive into changing your life, which is not always that comfortable. It's not always that fun. Like cutting people and things out of your life, I call fun, guys. Nolda says she always chooses peace instead of violence, and that's a negative for you, Nolda. Aura says the negative side is when people get mad when you don't react to their BS anymore. That's when people start falling off. And Nolda saying, Zimba says meditation has helped me to be more calm and alert. I love myself more. That's amazing. That's amazing, Zimba. It's not really a negative thing, unless you don't want to love yourself. Like, I hate that I love myself so much. Damn it. I wonder, I should actually ask more interesting questions, like questions that are like, that flip things on their head. Like, we all know why you should love yourself, but is there ever a reason why you should hate yourself? I know we'll automatically say, no, there's no reason to hate yourself. You can't hate yourself. But let's think about it. Like, is there any benefit that we could ever find from hating ourselves? It sounds weird even to me as I say it. Like, my body's just like, you know. But that's interesting then, for that reaction to happen. Why should you hate yourself? Again, my body's like tightening up. I'm going to investigate that question to see if there's a benefit in hating yourself. And this is the theory of asking kind of like anti-questions, or anti-shadow questions, something like, or anti-light questions, whatever it is. So instead of asking the usual love and light, why should you love yourself? Do you love yourself? Da, 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 da. Subvert it and say, why you should hate yourself is this, or do you hate yourself enough? Now, I don't know what reason you'd have to hate yourself. I'd have to come and find it, and find the gold in hate, or in disrespect, or in procrastination. Find what's good about it and use it to our advantage. Because if we can, theoretically, if we can take these negative things that we already have in us and use them and find a way to use them for positivity, then we won't have to change the negativeness in us to access the positivity that we can have. So in other words, Nola says you can't always be peaceful. The energies need to be balanced. This is true. So yeah, you need to have that villain in your life. A lot of people naturally have a villain in them. Like, if you come wrong, if you don't come correct, they'll come at you. They'll cut you out. Meow. That's when people test you. I think what happens is, like, your threshold just increases. Like, if you were to be triggered by something small prior, the more you meditate, the less you get triggered by the small things. It takes the big things then to bring the villain out. Anyway, answer the question, why should you hate yourself? I'll try and answer it myself and share it on the group. Perhaps I'll ask it on the group.
Welcome to this base chakra energy clearing meditation.
My battery's dying, and clearly the universe is telling us to get out of here. So thank you guys for joining this live meditation. This was beautiful. Thank you guys for letting me rant every morning and engaging. I hope you have a beautiful day. If you're new here and you haven't joined the WhatsApp group, click the link in the bio and join the group. We'll have these kind of conversations. I'll tell you when we're meditating and all that beautiful jazz. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you so much. I love you. Goodbye.